Sit back, relax, put your belt on, enjoy the show.
So we'll jump over to the Aussie matchup. So first, for Super Rugby AU, the Reds are on a bye, which is great for all the other teams this week. The first matchup, it's the Force versus the Tars. Something we're excited to see, the Tars, they seem to have been building a little bit in the last couple of weeks, the last couple of matches for them. So this is a match that they should be seeing and targeting as a winnable match. But we've got new injuries to Will Harrison, which is enormous for them. So he's going to be out for the rest of Super Rugby AU, and that is very disruptive. Do you not know that? He is out for the rest of Super Rugby AU. Byron Ralston, he got a head knock and got stretchered off. So we're not sure if he's back or not at this point. Go check Slack, Harry. And then we've got the return of Ben Donaldson after a quad injury. He returned for Randwick in round one of the Shoot Shield on the weekend after a quad injury, and had by all accounts a pretty solid outing for them. Swinton should be returning from his ankle in round 5, and good chance we're going to see Sam Caird in and around that side as well. But look, these teams are both technically, and I'm using the word technically, alive in this competition. The Force are 1 point off the Rebels, sitting in third. They are, I think, 40 points or so behind in terms of for and against. But, all it takes for them is to get, an extra bonus point win and games on with them and the Rebels. So they've got the same amount of matchups. Both of them get a versus the Tars, their bye weeks. So, the Tars could really be the team to spoil one of their dreams here. The Tars technically are in it. If they win both of these games with bonus points, they could make the finals. But I doubt it. And now without Will Harrison, I doubly doubt it. Do you think there's much hope for them here, Noobum?
There's, I don't know what you're talking about there, but I think there was a bit of a beautiful mind moment just going on with bonus points and everyone and for and against and all this kind of stuff. I think the Waratahs will beat one of the teams. The Waratahs will.
One
of them. They've got to at least finish the season with one win, surely.
I think with Will Harrison, both these teams are disrupted. Neither of them can show that they can attack at the moment, the Rebels and the Force. With Gordon returning, I could actually see the Tars of potentially winning both of these. I couldn't see them getting bonus points.
So both of them. So I think there was a breakup. Did you say both?
I'll tell
I could have with Will Harrison.
Can I cut through the bullshit? Geez, it took 1 2-point loss for both of you to get your blue color glasses on. So
no,
you are both delusional. We suck.
No, but so do the Rebels and Force.
We just lost our best back. We suck.
That's what I said. I said with him there, I thought we could have done it.
We had no chance.
Without Will Harrison, I think
we had no chance.
Without.
So it's zero wins then. Zero.
My tactic for the Tars right now is Jake Gordon picks the ball up and doesn't throw a pass.
Yeah, work the forwards.
No, just cut your 10 out to a hard running Fekete or a hard running Parisi.
Just running unders line.
Just running unders line. Get Angus Bell and HGH just running hard and tight. Literally battering them in tight. We know the Force just cannot score points. So play it down in their end and work it in tight.
Look, I know we'll be criticised for talking about the Waratahs too much, so I want to talk about the Force. If they're going to run unders lines, you run it at Miotti, right? Miotti was learning off Sanchez, and I've seen Sanchez tackle, and I've seen Sanchez dive and fake an injury. If you learn anything from Sanchez, Miotti is just going to be an absolute speed bump for either of those blokes running unders line. So maybe it's not a bad tactic. We're back. We're going to win with a bonus point.
The negative thing about that is Godwin returned on the weekend and he made 18 from 18 tackles.
Yeah.
So
and Kieran Jarndy just happens to be probably the best defensive outside centre in the country.
Yeah. So, we have to go through that channel. I think we have to. We're not going to have the influential 10 that we've had in recent, in recent times with Will Harrison there. But look, you've got Donaldson. By all reports, Ben Donaldson will be the starting 10, which seems wild because he hasn't been doing anything in this Tars, for the whole time up until now.
So loose.
The men on the bench. But it sounds like Ben Donaldson will be the starting 10. Tane Edmund will be off the bench. And boy, oh boy, Gordon was good last match, but he's going to have a bigger game and be able to control this side. And I do think, the likes of Jack Maddox, he's going to have to insert himself into that first receiver. We know he can and actually have a bit more of an influence. But, I mean, Gordon and Maddox, unless they're taking this game by the scruff of the neck, I'm a little bit nervous for the Tars. But interesting.
Maddox isn't taking the game by the scruff of the neck, mate. He hasn't since he came to the Waratahs.
He's had 2 games. Been good for the Tars.
Please, mate.
But, I mean, the interesting thing here is Donaldson and Edmund are attacking style 10s. I still believe it. They're not to the same class at the moment as Harrison, but they are good 10s. They're very young. They're very inexperienced. And
that's the key, mate. I like Donaldson. I think he's very good.
I like Edmund too.
Yeah, but let's be honest, he's not there yet. But I really like Donaldson as the young 10 last year. I thought he showed a lot of promise, but he is so young in a team that is way behind the 8
So
ball.
is Will Harrison.
Yeah, but no. Will Harrison has now played a season and a half straight of footy. The team is on a back foot. They need continuity, not a whole new general.
100%. Put Gordon in 9, 10,
All right.
12, 13.
Let's not talk about the Waratahs. Actually, did you talk about the lineups? Did I miss that?
And yeah, no, we were going through some of those changes.
All right, come on, rattle them off and let's talk about the force.
Well, hopefully we see Swinton return back into that back row. I think that would be helpful as well in that 6. They're going to need a physical 6. They're going to impose himself into this match.
Yeah, and they just need anyone in that loose forward or second row. Sam Caird potentially starting again as well, right?
Yep. So the force, I think for them, they're very settled in the forward pack. We might see a change or 2 here, but they're very settled. That gives them a very solid base to then be able to give out to the backs to seem to do nothing. So for me, I think the one thing that the forwards let them down last week with Thrush and Tamani as their lock pairing, they won 7 of 12 lineouts. That's 58%. That is woeful. They're both massive men. Neither of them are quick getting off the floor. They're old, they're slow, they're big. It's not going to be good in the line out for them. And if I was the Tars, I'd be targeting the line out and just kicking for distance. The Forces line out last week was the worst I've ever seen at Super Rugby.
Mate, the Tars' second row are like the 2 kids they found in the front row.
But they've been decent in the line-out. Doesn't matter how inexperienced they are. They can actually jump and get off the ground.
It's got to do with Kaitu as well, being the hooker. It's not only those.
Kaitu cannot throw it straight.
Mate, it was a matter of time until the stats actually started to show what we all saw from the start of the season.
Yeah.
Every overthrow he freaking threw bounced back into their hands, and somehow his stats were looking half decent. The bloke cannot throw.
But how about this for a shift, boys? Put Fergus Lee Warner back into the lock.
Oh, no.
Back into the lock. Bring Tim Anstey as another tall but, quicker to get off the ground guy in at 6 to add a little bit more excitement and punch in that back.
Mobility.
Completely agree. Far better.
Just do it. It's a much better rounded team.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%.
Do you guys think that we're going to see the Haguares combination of 9-10 with Kubeli and Miotti again?
Yeah, I mean, was that their first start together last game?
It was, yeah.
Yeah, well, they play 2 games each and then they rotate to the new 9 and 10. So, yeah, they'll go one more.
Do you see the same, Noobum? Do you want to add some actual value?
Well, the fact that they speak the same language at 9 and 10 definitely helps.
With no one else.
But I think just the combination, obviously, being internationals, but I actually think that Godwin had a bit of an influence on the outside. Having Godwin there took a little bit of pressure off Miotti. And I see Godwin actually as a bit of a dark horse for a Wallabies in the future coming up.
He's going to need more than tackle.
Yeah, that could be my bias because I rate him. But I think he added him being there helped Miotti out a lot. So
I agree. I think he's a calming influence. My issue was I just didn't see their team attack at all. So he calmed them, but nothing happened in attack.
We haven't seen it all year either, to be fair.
So I'm not saying it's just on him, but You know, he made like a couple run meters, no tackle bust, no line breaks, no line break assists. You know, nothing influential with ball in hand. So I think he can do it ball in hand. We've seen him be quite influential in the past. So, I mean, maybe we just need that extra week, and maybe we need the dodgy defense of the Waratahs for him to influence the game like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the Tars actually, this is their best centre pairing in Fekete and Parisi. So I don't know. As you guys said, I don't think it's the best idea. No, it's the best idea for the Waratahs to attack down Mioti's channel. Definitely.
Look, the other one is out in the wings for the Western Force. Fellow got his first start last week.
Promising.
Obviously, they need a new winger on the other side. We would suspect at least for the week if it's just a concussion in best case. But Richard Kahui, he looms as the obvious man to just drop in there.
Oh yeah, the other option is Tony Pulu. He had a minor ankle injury a month ago where they said it was going to be 1 or 2 weeks. So he might be in and around that squad, and he adds a bit of punch as well. Mind you, Kahui has been impressive at times this year with an extra year actually getting back into professional fitness.
And let's be honest, Tony Pulu's already hit his quota for the next 3 years for this club. So I'm pretty sure that he's got another niggle.
Probably right. Look, both teams are very different to that 16-20 drought-breaking game for the Force when they won in Sydney. 5 or so matches ago early in March. However, the same issues stand. Force can't attack. Tars are a young team of rookies. How do we see this one going?
Has?
Yeah, go on, Noobum.
Noobum,
sorry, mate.
Very good. I think Harry, get prepared to put Gordon with a sore back yet again, like Artie.
I agree
because Gordon's going to carry the Waratahs over the line this week. They're going to come back, and it's going to be close. Tars by 2.
Harry?
Look, I promised that I wouldn't support the Waratahs if Newsom was captain, but I will 100% support them behind Jake Gordon. So I'll be cheering them on, but I fully suspect us to lose to the Western Force. The travel factor is the one thing we haven't said, and it is a harder game.
Your favourite point has.
It is. Well, it truly is.
Travel.
We also know that the Waratahs are tight asses. They've made that pretty well known this year.
Getting a bus.
Yeah, they're probably getting a bus. and
Murray's. Get on the Murray's at Central.
Same day as well. Same day bus, and then they'll drive home. So I actually think it'll make it a lot harder for them as well in front of the Sea of Blue. So I'm going to go Western Force don't know how to put a team away, so they won't run away with it. But I would say by 4 or 5 points. Yeah,
look, I'm definitely leaning towards what you said, Harry. But
where are those glasses, mate? Where are those glasses?
If Will, they're there. If Will Harrison was starting, I'm putting my money in the Tars all day, every day.
I probably would have as well.
So without him, for me, I agree with Noobum's point that it's going to be Gordon who's going to be the one that makes a difference for the Tars here. And if the Force could show they could attack, 100% they're going to win, but they just can't attack.
They can't.
If we go by up in points of 3 and Gordon scores a try like he will by himself anyway, and just punch it in tight, this game is going to be a low scoring game, and we could sneak in for a win. So I'm putting my glasses on.
Hey, yeah.
Tars to win by 1.
Do you remember when we were saying that the Rebels couldn't attack and then they put like 40 on the Tars? Teams can't attack against good defense, but when you play the Tars, you're not attacking good defense.
Our attack looked good 2 weeks ago. Defense, sorry.
One game, mate.
Yeah, one very important game.
Let's move on.